Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Sichamba Jacob. All right, so how do we get to find the value of x here on this Olympiad exam question? Okay, so before we solve, I'm kindly asking you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share the video, leave a comment, and like. Okay, all right, so now to answer this question, we need to understand some few trigonometry identities. Okay. So basically, one of the identities that we need to know is that when you've got cos squared x plus sine squared x is equal to a 1. Okay? So now this identity, we want to come and use it to balance these powers so that we can have sine squared x here, and also sine must appear here, not cosine. In this case, we shall make cosine subject of the formula, meaning sine squared x will cross the equal sign and it will be minus sine squared x, like this. So this is what we need, okay? We need to substitute it right here. So now let's substitute and see what we are going to get. So now when we substitute, this is how it's going to look like. We shall have 1 minus sine squared x right here. Okay, so this is an identity that we've used. Now we can use the laws of indices. Let me just show you something. When you've got a, okay, power n minus minus m, this will simply be equal to a power n over a power m. I think this makes sense to you. So this is the same as what we have right here. For as long as there is a minus sign on the powers, meaning the one that is being subtracted will be divided. So you just get the base and that power like this. And this idea is what we're going to apply here. So we shall have 81 sine squared x plus 81 power 1, this one, over 81 power sine squared x is equal to a 30, like that. Okay? Hopefully you are following. So the next thing here will just be to let me put it here, let y be equal to 81 sine squared x. So this is very important. Meaning, where we see 81 sine squared x, we substitute what? A y. So we shall have a y right here plus 81 over here, a y will come. Remember, we're saying y is equal to 81 power sine squared x, which is equal to a 30, like that. Okay. So now, from here, if you are able to see nicely, this is a quadratic equation. Okay. So what we're going to do will just be to multiply throughout by y. And why are we multiplying this y? It's because we want to cancel this denominator. Okay. So when we multiply y times y, we are getting a y power 2. Okay. And here, when we multiply 81 over y times y, the y and the y will cancel. We shall remain with 81, which is equal to 30 times y. That is 30y, like that. Okay. So now, from this stage, we can now solve for y. This is a quadratic equation. Let's put it in standard form. So we put the quadratic equation in standard form. We shall have y power 2, okay, y power 2 minus 30y plus 81 is equal to a 0. So we've just put this quadratic equation in standard form. The next thing will be to solve it. So I'm going to solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. Okay, so this is how it will look like. I guess by now you know how to solve a quadratic equation by factorization method. You only find two numbers. You can see these two numbers such that when you multiply them, they give you 81. And when you add them, they give you negative 30. So that is negative 27 times, negative 27 and 3. Okay. So now we solve by pairing them. Okay. So these two, just like that. We shall have a y, open bracket, y minus a 3. Minus here, we shall have a 27, open bracket, y minus a 3 is equal to a 0. The next thing will just be to equate y minus 27 is equal to 0. You just get this minus this equal to 0. And you say, oh, y minus 3 is also equal to 0. So we shall say y is equal to 27 and y is equal to a 3. These are not the final answers. So for the final answers, we come right here. Can you see this? Where we said let y be equal to what? To 81 power squared x. So this is where we need to come. So we shall say y, let me just copy this, y is equal to 27 or y is equal to a 3. So now we solve for x. To solve for x, we just substitute right here. So we shall have a 27 equal to 81 sine squared x. We balance the bases. We shall have a 3 power 3 is equal to 3 power 4 sine squared x. Okay, so that means 3 is equal to 4 sine squared x. You divide by 4 by a 4. So we're having something like this. Okay, so that's what we have. Now to solve for x, you square root both sides because of the power 2 here. So we're going to have sine x is equal to square root over 3 over a 2. Now to solve for x, let me put it here. We shall have x is equal to sine inverse of this. What is the sine inverse of what we have here? This will simply be equal to a 60 degrees. So the value of x is one of the values of x is what? Is 60 degrees. Hopefully this is what you've also found. Okay, so check nicely your solution. If this is what you've gotten, then you're doing the right thing. We go to the next one. We also do the same. This 3 we substitute. We shall have 3 is equal to 81 sine squared x. Okay, we balance the bases. We have 3 power 1, 3 power 4 sine squared x. Since the bases are the same, laws of indices there, we just focus on the powers. We divide by a 4 by a 4. So we shall have sine squared x is equal to 1 over a 4. So to get rid of this power, we do the same here. Find the square root, and here the square root. So we shall have sine x is equal to 1 over a 2. So now to finish it up, To solve for x, we shall say x is equal to sine inverse of 1 over 2, which will just give us 30. So x will be equal to 30 degrees. The two values of x are 60 and 30. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.